Welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news from Gene Fuller, news from Kern County Sheriff's Department, Water District news, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyo Kern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
I'm Tom Whitnick, and here's news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. In news from the Sierra Sand School District, they're asking for community support to encourage the state to allocate funds to match federal building grants. Right now, Washington has allotted $32 million to rehab boroughs and $39 million to build a whole new Murray Middle School. The new Murray Middle School will be built adjacent to Burroughs High School. But with the federal grants come the requirement that they provide 20% in matching funds. So Senator Fuller has introduced a bill in Sacramento for the state to provide the funds at a low interest rate. The bill is passed in the state Senate and now goes to the Assembly Education Committee. Local school officials are encouraging people and organizations in the valley to send letters of support as soon as possible. Letters need to be received by the Assembly Committee by June 24th at 5 p.m. So there's little time to spare. You can get a form letter by going to www.ssusdschools.org. All letters from businesses or organizations should be on their own letterhead paper. Letters should be sent right away to Assembly Education Committee, 1020 N Street, Room 159, Sacramento, California, 95814. Fax and email would probably be the best way since the deadline is Wednesday. They can be faxed to 916-651-4916 or emailed to justin.freitas@sen.ca.gov. Today, the California legislature passed a revised budget with a record level of spending. Senator Gene Fuller, Republican out of Bakersfield, issued the following statement in opposition to the unsustainable growth in spending. The revised budget spends a record $267 billion, a $13 billion increase over last year. This massive increase is in new spending puts our state on a path of unsustainable growth while we continue to struggle with unpaid debt, infrastructure maintenance, and unfunded liabilities. In news from the Kern County Sheriff's Office, the office has had several automated external defibrillators, AEDs, within the Sheriff's training facilities for over 4 years and has recognized the need for a Sheriff's Office-wide AEID program. In early 2014, the Sheriff's Office included AED training to all sworn staff and started looking into ways to increase its AED program. On April 1, 2015, the California Emergency Medical Services Authority and California Peace Officers Standards and Training expanded the public safety first aid and CPR training standards for peace officers. The newly approved training now requires law enforcement agencies to train in the use of AEDs to assist with the cardiopulmonary resuscitation of a person who is in cardiac distress. To date, all Kern County Sheriff's Office sworn personnel have received the American Heart Association CPR AED training. The Kern County Sheriff's Office was able to secure funding in the 2014-15 budget to purchase 304 AEDs. 235 AEDs will be placed in patrol vehicles and 69 AEDs will be placed in Sheriff's Office buildings and transportation buses. The AEDs placed in patrol vehicles will be assigned to all patrol deputies and senior deputies in Metro Patrol Bakersfield, all Kern County substations, electronic monitoring program patrol units, and work release patrol units. The stationary AEDs will be placed at Sheriff's Office headquarters, all Sheriff's substations, the Bakersfield Central Receiving Facility, the Lerdo Detention Facility, all Kern County courthouses, the Sheriff's Range, and the Sheriff's Regional Training Center. According to the American Heart Association, AEDs, in addition to CPR, have been shown in multiple studies to increase survival rates by more than 50%. The survival rates of cardiac arrests that occur outside of hospitals nearly double when AEDs are administered in addition to CPR. While CPR is essential to maintain blood flow through the heart, AEDs are imperative for maintaining a natural heart rhythm that can help prevent not only death, but brain damage as well. A sudden cardiac arrest differs from a heart attack because it can occur to anyone, no matter the level of health or the condition of the heart. The intent of the Kern County Sheriff's Office program is to provide early defibrillation for the unconscious and pulseless patient. Defibrillation at the earliest possible time may prevent or reduce mortality when used in association with basic life support and/or advanced life support EMS system resources. Kern County Sheriff's staff provides CPR to both adults and infants countless times every year in an effort to save lives. With the addition of AEDs, we hope and expect the survival rate to dramatically improve. Although this program has cost the Sheriff's Office roughly $200,000, they feel the funds were very well spent. In more news from the school district, the district has announced there will be a slight change in next year's school schedule. Next year, they'll institute that on Wednesdays, schools will start a half hour later than normal, and teachers would come in to work a half hour earlier, thereby giving the teachers and staff an hour to sit and discuss things with other teachers. The school district believes this is an enhancement to engage our parents and our community to support our staff in the development of curriculum, instructional concepts, and techniques that support that we are meeting the needs of the students. Parents should have already heard about this new schedule. The concept of setting an hour aside every week was initially tried at Las Flores. It allowed a weekly discussion of operations that eventually resulted in Las Flores as one of the highest performing schools. There were improvements at all levels. Las Flores was noted as the second highest performing elementary school out of 150 schools countywide. Because of the success of the test school, the teachers in all schools have been asking to implement this program for 2 years. The decision to have the meeting in the morning versus at the end of the day was because shifting the student times later would have interfered with after-school activities such as clubs and sports programs. There was also coordination with bus drivers and all other support staff. The school has committed to parents that those that cannot defer their kids going to school a half hour late can still deliver them to the schools at the regular time. The schools will provide necessary staff to monitor the kids until classes start. Superintendent Bell states that they'll be in touch with all parents as they start the program district-wide. Sure, there may be some bumps as we start this up, but through patience and communication, the startup problems should be minimal and handled quickly. The school district believes the big winners of this new program will be the kids. For more information on the program and calendars, you can go to the district's website. The website is www.ssusdsschools.org. Stay tuned for news from the IWV Water District when we come back. Welcome back. In news from the Indian Wells Valley Water District, they have announced the names on the Cash for Grass winners who have been notified and are going to be taking advantage of the program. The winners are William Johnson, Richard and Vicki Peach, William Tongate, Vincent and Gloria Avalos, Virgil and Sally Kennedy, Daniel and Sally Kennedy, Daniel and Martha Zielke, Mary Edens, Randy and Dolores Coit, Ben Deloach, Dennis Rawell, Mark Stockbauer, Neil Lundwall, Sierra Sands Unified School District, Jimmy Jones, Laura Lee Bosworth, David Gossip, and Mike Similon. The Indian Wells Valley Water District Financial Officer Jennifer Keep said 180 Valley residents submitted applications to participate in the Cash for Grass program. Keep's duties oversee the Conservation Department and specifically the Cash for Grass program. Winners are awarded $1 per square foot for removing up to 2,000 square foot of living turf. Everyone had 1 month to submit an application before June 1st. Applicants were randomly drawn. Technically, the first 30 have winning potential, but Keep said winners will be approached at a rate to maintain the program manageably. Winners were contacted, officially inspected for living turf square footage, along with verification of property ownership before funds were awarded. The program was modeled after the Las Vegas Cash for Grass program, where it was determined outside water usage was the highest volume of water use compared to indoor domestic use. The Cash for Grass program focuses on outdoor water use. Las Vegas studies show 73 gallons of water per year are required to support 1 square foot of living turf, compared to 17 gallons of water per year required to support 1 square foot of xeriscape turf. Keep underscored That's a 56-gallon savings of water per square foot per year. The Cash for Grass program has potential to save an extraordinary amount of water and still maintain a beautiful, fragrant native landscape using rock and plants native to desert landscape. In less than 6 years, Keep said a single homeowner can save the valley 1 acre-foot of water, totaling 325,000 gallons of water. In other water district news, did you ever wonder how much water a swamp cooler uses? We received the following information from an email subscriber. He said, with so many people here in the Indian Wells Valley using swamp cooler instead of air conditioning, we thought this information would be very interesting. Stu told us about a study conducted in Phoenix on swamp cooler use. The study yielded the following data. The study found that the average daily water use was 66 gallons per day. This was based on the average usage for a year to be 2,100 hours per year. This represents about 25% of the day in operation. That's probably low for the Indian Wells Valley. The average rate for a cooler with a bleed system is also reported in the same study to be 10.5 gallons per hour. If you run your cooler from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., this is 12 hours, and the cooler would be expected to use about 126 gallons. At a minimum of 50 gallons per day per person, a two-person household should be using somewhere around 226 gallons per day. With a limited vegetation garden and a bamboo windbreak, we are using about 270 gallons per day measured by our water meter, Stu said. And the study was based on cooler use from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Those of you using it more, of course, you use more water. So for all of you saving electricity using swamp coolers versus air conditioning, now you can see the impact you are having on the water table. On the heels of last month's special Adopt a Dog promotion in May, the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter has announced that June is Adopt a Cat Month. This special allows adoption at no cost to adopt any cat or kitten. The Indian Wells Valley Humane Society has sponsored this special event. All cats will be provided with all their shots, examination, license, and spay or neutering, free of charge. In addition to the totally free cat adoptions, they are offering spay or neutering vouchers to get your current pet fixed. The vouchers are available for $25 for owned dogs and $20 for owned cats. The Ridgecrest Animal Shelter is located on County Line Road. They are open 5 days per week, Tuesday through Saturday. They are open 11 to 5 Tuesday through Friday and from 10 to 4 on Saturdays. For more information, you can call the shelter at 760-499-5190. In some quick sports news, we received this email. The Indian Wells Valley Baseball Group is hosting the 2015 Pony All-Star Sectionals this weekend. This tournament brings about 150 families to Ridgecrest. Indian Wells Valley Sidewinders will be playing tonight. The Shetland Sidewinders play at 5 and the Pindle Sidewinders play at 7:30. These games get pretty intense as they are fighting to move to the regional competition. So if you're looking for something to do this evening, head out to the ball fields. I'm sure the kids would love to see a big crowd out there to support them. Now, as in KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's local gas prices. Well, I'm happy to report that since Friday, prices locally and abroad are continuing to go down. Our local price has gone down just 20 cents per gallon just since the beginning of June. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $3.29 to $3.89, Lancaster from $3.35 to $3.79, the LA Valley area $3.33 to $3.59, and the Bishop area $3.68 to $3.83. We have one station at $3.29 and 4 stations coming in at the $3.31 figure. In an interesting note, gas is cheaper in town than it is at the base gas station. Usually the base gas station is cheaper than in town by a couple cents. We usually don't report that price, though, because the majority of us can't use the base station. Tune in with us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay any sales tax out of town, you are helping those cities pave their streets instead of here. Stay tuned for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to Keith for the weather.
Thank you, Tom. The National Weather Service is forecasting a risk of severe thunderstorms Monday across a large portion of the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, with enhanced risk over parts of southeastern Minnesota, eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, Northern Illinois, northern Indiana, lower Michigan, and southwest Ohio. Large hail and damaging winds, along with strong tornadoes possible, especially over parts of Wisconsin and Illinois. Temperatures across the nation. Massachusetts 65, Carolinas 91, Florida 87, Arkansas 86, Kansas 82, Colorado 62, and Arizona 91. Our forecast for the IWV tonight will be clear with a low around 67, south-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday will be sunny and hot with a high near 102, south-southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Tuesday night will be mostly clear with a low around 69, south-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday will be sunny and hot with a high near 103, southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night will be clear with a low around 72, west-southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday will be sunny and hot with a high near 106, west-northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And Thursday night clear with a low around 74, west-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And now back to Tom and the rest of your KZGN news.
Thanks, Keith. Let's go to Tom Heck for sports.
And a very pleasant Monday afternoon to everybody. Let's start with Major League Baseball. The Dodgers broke their 2-game losing streak against the Giants. They beat San Francisco last night by a score of 10-2. Adrian Gonzalez, another home run. Boy, he has been hitting very, very well. Good pitching again, and that was the ESPN game of the week, so they got to show their wares to a lot of folks that usually don't get to watch the Dodgers, especially here in Southern California. What a shame that is, but Time Warner, you can thank them for that, and the Dodgers kind of being gluttonous, if you will. The Angels lost up in Oakland. They lost 2 of 3 in this series. They lose 3-2 to the A's on Sunday. Luis Pujols, so maybe the hottest hitter in all of baseball, hit 3 home runs over the weekend. He now has 21. He leads Major League Baseball in that department. He's playing as well as he's ever played, hitting the ball as like a rocket. He's hitting so many good line drives with just such power. Angels will be home tonight. They'll play Houston. The Angels now 5.5 games behind the Astros. The Astros won up in Seattle. Seattle took 2 of 3 games. The Astros will come in tonight with a 5.5 game lead over the Angels and a 3.5 game lead over the Rangers, who lost yesterday in Chicago by a score of 3-2 in 11 innings. Okay, the Orioles, they won 2 out of 3 from the Jays this weekend in Toronto. 2 of the games Saturday and Sunday were come from behind victories. They won yesterday 11-8 against Toronto. Cincinnati beat Miami. Cincinnati wins 2 of 3 over the weekend in that series. Tampa Bay takes 2 of 3 from Cleveland. The Nationals sweep Pittsburgh 9-2. Now the story there, Max Scherzer, the right-hander they got from the Tigers in the offseason. Scherzer pitched a no-hitter. He had a perfect game into the 9th inning. In fact, 2 outs in the 9th inning, and he hit a batter, of all things, that ruined the perfect game. Only the second time in history where a pitcher has gone 8 2/3 and had his perfect game ruined by hitting a batsman. Now, that happened before, but not since 1923. Didn't even know they kept records back then. All right. Now, Max Scherzer also, the outing before against Philadelphia, he threw a one-hitter. So his last 2 games, a one-hitter and a no-hitter. Talk about being dominant. The Cubs take 2 of 3 from the Twins. They win yesterday 8-0. And Boston beats the Royals. They finally start playing a little bit better. They take 2 of 3 from Kansas City. Colorado wins 2 of 3 from Milwaukee. And Arizona wins 2 of 3 from San Diego. The Mets are reeling. They've lost 5 games in a row now. They get swept over the weekend by Atlanta down in Georgia. Okay, let's talk about the U.S. Open. Jordan Spieth wins it. He was 5 under in his 4th round. He edged Justin Johnson in 1 playoff hole. Now, he is the youngest winner ever at the U.S. Open, which was played in Washington this year, incidentally, for the first time ever. It wasn't since 1933 when Bobby Jones won that at age 23. Boy, what a performance for the young man. And in the Major League Soccer circuit, the Galaxy defeat Philadelphia on Saturday night down at Cal State Dominguez Hills. The final score, 7-3. That's your sports for this Monday. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay with us for a dog trying to lay down and get comfortable with a guy in the way. This is funny.
Relay for Life. Help the American Cancer Society finish the fight. Donate now at relay.org.
Get Dad the perfect gift with Big Father's Day savings now at Lowe's. Like the Troy-Bilt trimmer and edger for only $119. Plus 10% off select major appliances, $396 and more. So hurry into Lowe's and save on something you'll love.
I'm not a fan of infestation. And if even one flea or one tick gets on my William or my Monty, you're going to have to deal with me.
How bad is your infestation?
It's a nightmare.
Well, PetSmart has the products to help treat your pet, home, and yard.
They don't serve any purpose. We gang up on you unless it was to annoy us. You have to fight back and to anger me. You don't want to mess with me.
No, not at all.
PetSmart has vet-recommended Canine Advantix 2, which repels and kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes for dogs only. Now save up to $10 on this and other select Bayer products. Because pethood needs a partner. Find stylish gifts for Dad at JCPenney. Shop our Dad's Day VIP event and get an extra 25% off with your JCPenney credit card and coupon. Some exclusive apply.
Ocean-Spray Cranberry Mango Juice Drinks are a perfect blend of cranberry and mango.
Tastes like you're in the tropics.
Ta-da!
You've heard of a win-win, right? What about a win-win-win? Pick up the limited edition metallic Droid Turbo by Motorola. Water repellent, up to 48-hour battery life, and ballistic nylon back. That's your first win. Plus, it's only on Verizon, the #1 network. There's your next win. Now for the final win. Get $250 when you trade in any smartphone. And get 10 gigs of data for $80 a month and $15 per line. The win-win-win. A new way to save without settling. Only on Verizon.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want for just $6.99 each. And sweet